Hello everybody and welcome back to Fable 2. I'm going to be jumping back into some solo stuff for the next couple of episodes. Before we go to the Crucible, last couple of videos when we did co-op, we got to Westcliff and we were told to go to the Crucible, which will allow us to get to the Spire to find Garth, as well as Lucian hopefully. So in the meantime, I've got some quests I want to do. Now, this file I'm on, as you can see, I am one sexy hunk of cross-dressing man meat. On this file, this is just kind of like a screw-around file. It's one I have for backup, one I test stuff on and screw around. I did do these two quests I'm about to show off in my other file, however, the recordings screwed up, and because this game has autosave, there was no way for me to go back and redo these, so I have to do it on this file. So there's going to be a couple of things that are different, however, the quests are exactly the same. One of our primary tasks is to get enough renown to get into the Crucible, so we need to do some quests for some renown. As you can see, we have quite a few quests to choose from. There's a couple of them, like I've mentioned, that we can't really do, like Temple of Shadows we don't run into until later in the game. Donating to the light is just donating lots of money. The sculpture, we've already shown that off. If you don't have a place to put your sculpture, then that's kind of useless. And then there's a couple of these. Down by the docks is DLC, and the snow globe is something I'm going to be doing in co-op. So the couple of quests that I want to do is Cold Comfort Farmer and Till Death Do Us Part. And these two quests will allow us to get a total of 850 renown as well as some pretty good experience. So Till Death Do Us Part is something that shows up very, very early in the game. I do believe it shows up right after you get to Rook Ridge. It's only worth 100 renown because this is a quest that really, it shows up so early that you can do it so early, and it's really not that big of a deal. And at that point in the game, 100 renown is quite a lot. So I am going to do this quest, and then Cold Comfort Farmer shows up right after you get the diary from Lucian. So this is worth a lot of renown. It also has a lot of experience, and it comes in two parts. Cold Comfort Farmer and Red Harvest show up at the exact same time. Cold Comfort Farmer is the good side of the quest, and Red Harvest is the bad side of the quest. So obviously, since we're going for good alignment, we're going to be doing the good part of the quest. Alright, now that I've explained that, we're going to start with Till Death Do Us Part. And this is going to take part in Rook Ridge, so we're going to fast travel there. Alright, so I've already come through Rook Ridge. Unfortunately, this is where they put you when you do the side quest, the fast travel, and it places you here. And when you fast travel, sometimes you have to go through a bunch of different areas to get to where you want to go. So in this case, all I'm going to do is just kind of defeat some of these bandits for some additional experience. Now, because this is a file that I'm kind of screwing around on, I'm definitely not as tough as I am in my other file, because I haven't really taken the time, and I haven't done any co-op or anything, so I don't have as much experience, but I'm still doing okay. I also don't have as much money, which is definitely going to be a problem if I have to keep using this file as a backup, but anyways, when you reload into Rook Ridge, all the enemies respawn. I want to say that this is infinitely respawning. In my experience, anyways, these bandits will always show up in Rook Ridge whenever you load into this area. So, I mean, this is a place you can grind really, really early in the game if you feel like it. Of course, it's not something that's totally 100% ideal, just because you really don't get a lot of experience from bandits. But at the beginning of the game, I mean, why not? It's better than nothing. And if you are having difficulty with some of the later quests, like when you go into Westcliff, for example, and you fight all the werewolves, that can be really difficult, or the Balverines, I should say, as they're officially called in this game. When you defeat all the Balverines, they can be a little difficult to defeat, so it's not always a bad idea to kind of just take some time and grind on some enemies. So, you can see the exclamation point is right over there, so I mean the quest isn't very far from where you warp to anyways. If you go over this way towards Oakfield and you take a left instead of going straight, this is where this quest is, over by this statue here. Oh, and there's a ghost crying. Well, what could he possibly want? We have to avenge the ghost by doing something. I think he'll tell us his story.
Are you looking at me? You... Can you see me? Oh, finally. I've been wandering this place so
Although,
long.
people in this game take forever and their stories take about 1,000,000 years. I could probably just tell you guys the gist of this, but... Alright, I'm gonna accept it, and then maybe he'll tell us what it is he wants us to do.
Yes. Excellent. It won't be easy though. You'll have to make her fall in love with you utterly and completely. Then, when she's ready to accept your proposal, when she can't imagine her life without you, give her this.
Alright, so we get something from the ghost called the rejection note. Basically, the gist of this quest is that he was going to get married, she didn't show up on the day of his wedding, and he died because of it. And then, before he died, he didn't get a chance to exact revenge upon her, so he's given us that task. Alright, so, anyways, I'm gonna leave, because like I said, the characters in this game talk way too much, and he's basically just saying that he wrote the letter, and he wants us to utterly and completely shatter her heart into 1,000,000 pieces. So, this quest will bring you back to where we just were, which is in Bowerstone. Now, hopefully, my game appears to be glitching really, really badly right now. It keeps saying I'm in Rookridge, and then I try to work to Bowerstone, and it still says that I'm in, like, I don't know, it's being screwed up. So I don't know if this is going to work right now, which is really going to make me mad if it's not working, because it doesn't appear to. If you warp to Bowerstone, what should happen is the Golden Trail should lead you right to the person it is that you are trying to impress, so that you can go and win their heart over. But the Golden Trail is still going towards where the ghost is. So I'm just going to see if I can figure this out, and then I will be right back. Alright, well, I'm back. Apparently, the game didn't register that I was finished talking to the ghost yet, so I had to go back and finish talking to him. He also gave me a book called The Art of Seduction if you really need, like, tips or anything to seduce people. But by this point in the game, you have enough renown where people will normally just pay attention to you normally, because you are getting so famous in Albion. So this really shouldn't be too difficult. And here is Alex herself.
I didn't see you there. Isn't it amazing?
She's our target.
All these people, they look so happy, don't they? I'm sorry. Don't mind me. My name's Alex. I'm sure you're a really nice person, but I'm not really much of a talker these days.
Gypsies, they're always coming here trying to sell stuff.
Oh, okay, so Alex probably has her own side of the story. I'm gonna wait till she kind of gets out of the crowd, though, because once you kind of attract a crowd around you, it's really difficult to focus on just her. So I'm gonna let her just kind of walk around. I'm gonna try and get her attention, and then I'm just going to try and seduce her the best that I can. I can also look on her information page to see what she likes. So she likes the Bowerstone Clock Tower, freshly picked flowers, and the seduce expression, and she does not like the play dead expression. So I'm basically just going to spam a bunch of expressions, which usually works very well, especially when you are so renowned. People just kind of automatically pay attention to you. And as you can see, I'm getting a lot of people just kind of flocking to me, which is what I mean. If you have a lot of people around the person you're targeting, or, you know, like right by them, sometimes it can be really difficult to focus on them only. Sometimes you can also, if they trust you enough, you can get them to follow you to a remote location, which is a really easy way to get them to communicate with you. It's also an easy way to kill someone if, you know, that's what you're doing. You just kind of want to silently kill people off without getting caught. That's another way to do it. So as you can see here, this really isn't taking me very long. I'm just spamming a bunch of expressions, and she's falling in love with me very, very easily. If you hold down the button for certain expressions that you can do that with, that also helps, like arm pump, dancing, things like that. It also gets their level up a lot higher in a faster amount of time. So that was easy.
I never thought I'd deserve it. There's something I've never told you. I almost got married once before. He was a sweet boy, but we were both so young. Too young. I got scared and ran away the day of the wedding. I hurt him so badly. He took his own life. I've carried that guilt with me all these years, never dreaming I could love again. Until I met you.
Oh, okay, so now that you've heard her side of the story and what happened, you're now faced with a choice. You can give her the rejection note and do what it is that the ghost asked you to do, or you can marry Alex yourself. Either way, you're going to be able to finish this quest. It just depends on what it is that you want to do. You can basically get yourself a free wife out of this quest, which is something that I am actually going to do. So, I'm going to marry her myself. Now, I wonder if I will be prompted to give her the wedding ring. There we go. No, it won't work. Why not? I have a ring and won't let me give it to her. Well, that's annoying. She's like fully... her heart levels up all the way. I wonder why it doesn't work. There we go, now it worked. I was gonna look at it, make sure it was all the way up, but there it is. She now has a little ring above her head, so that means we're engaged. To seal the marriage, take your betrothed to a house that you can buy. Alright, so once you actually officially marry her or him, depending on who you're playing as, the game, or this quest, I should say, will officially end. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of gold right now on this file, just because I haven't taken the time to really get a lot of gold. I think what I can do is I can probably just blacksmith a bunch and get a house, or what I can do, which is even better, just for the sake of showing off this quest, I can go back to the gypsy camp where I started out in the game, and I can actually move my wife into there. They will normally move towns depending on where it is that you live. So just for the sake of finishing up this quest and getting the reward from the ghost, let's go back to the gypsy camp and see if I can get her to move in with me there. Alright, so you can see she actually followed me all the way to Bower Lake, which is really nice about this game. If you guys remember my playthrough of the first Fable, if you warp out of an area, people actually will not follow you, which is kind of a bummer, especially if you're, wanting to get someone very specific, or you want to get them to a specific area to kill them or something, then it's really difficult to do that. But yeah, she's not going to be very happy about it, but you can actually move them into whatever home it is that you own. All you have to do is just use the set as marital home option once you're engaged, and that will seal the deal. You can get married. So there we go. This is the wedding cutscene.
There are moments of greatness, even perfection, some solitary, but others shared. On a sunny morning, under a clear sky, the villagers crowded together to witness two people stand and declare their love for each other. Some say they were a strange couple, others that they saw a story of true love. Only time would tell.
Alright, so congratulations on your marriage. You've received a dowry of cash, a renown boost. Marriage also means you will receive better bonuses from your house. You might also receive gifts if you keep your spouse happy. Use the house sign to set your household budget, which will affect how happy your spouse is while you're away. Your spouse is also happier depending on the type of house that you live in. If you live in a really, really nice house, they are always happier. Now, unfortunately, she's wanting me to have sex with her, but I don't have time to have sex with you right now, lady, especially because this is not my main file. But we will go back to that later, because she is my wife on the other file as well, so keep that in mind. This video is getting pretty long by now, but I do want to actually finish the quest by going back and visiting the ghost in Rickridge. We're going to have to kind of break it to him that we married the woman that he was once madly in love with, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I'm back in Rickridge. I am just going to walk past any enemies that might spawn. As you can see, there they are. They're spawning again, so it does look like they spawn quite often. I'm not sure if it's infinitely. It might be something like once a day of in-game time, but as you can see, they're back, and I had kind of gone through like a day of Fable from all the fast traveling I did and everything, but anywho, I don't have time for bandits right now. I gotta go talk to the undead ghost souls of the world, so
So,
Hi.
you fell in love with her, did you? The strange thing is, I'm not mad anymore. I feel at peace. I asked you to do such a terrible thing. I'm just glad you knew better. I never thought of how much she'd suffered already. Treat her well, will you? Or I'll be back to haunt you.
Alright, so that is the end of that quest. Regardless of the choice that you make, the ghost will be happy. So it's kind of a very, very sad, tragic sort of love story. But in the end, it turns out for the better either way. So we have appeased the ghost, got ourselves a wife, and got ourselves actually 300 renown total from that quest, because you get 200 renown from getting married. So it's a pretty good way to get some renown as well. So that is it for this video. Next video I'm going to take on another one of the side quests. So thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you next time.